let's talk about Aaron Judge saying what he said this week about how he will be vocal in the non-playing season about what the Yankees should do. He's got a lot of thoughts. Do you have any bullet points that you think he would be forwarding, and to whom will he forward it, Michael?
Well, first of all, a lot of people rolled their eyes. Well, what do you mean he has thoughts? He's not management. Rich, when you sign a 9-year, $360 million contract, you're essentially Hal Steinbrenner and the Steinbrenner family's partner for the next 9 years.
Damn straight.
I think that Aaron Boone had a great answer to it yesterday. He said, of course, Judge and Cole are going to be consulted on everything. They know what's going on in that room. They know what's wrong. They know what has to be fixed. And I think players know better than anybody, Rich, better than media, probably better than coaches, because they know what each and every guy is thinking. And I have utmost respect and faith in Aaron Judge. And I think if he has things that he thinks have to be fixed, then you know what? You go to Hal Steinbrenner, you go to Brian Cashman, and you try to get those things fixed. Doesn't mean that everything that he says is going to be done, because I found over the years sometimes players are the worst GMs. But maybe it's beyond that. Maybe it's culture. Maybe it's the way the analytics are handled and passed down to the players. Maybe it's just the process that he doesn't like. I don't think he's going to play GM, say get rid of this guy, get rid of that guy. But if there's a guy that is impeding the positive culture that should be in that room, he should make it known to Cashman, and he should make it known to Steinbrenner. So I thought that was a pretty smart thing for him to do, because he's an important player for the Yankees. He's the most important player.
And I'm fully, that's why I'm on kind of pins and needles about what he thinks needs to be fixed. I would love to be a fly on that wall, but you do think that if he says it to Cashman, he's going to be saying it to the general manager of the Yankees? You think Brian's going to be around after this season?
I'm sorry. I know a lot of Yankee fans get angry at me on the show every day. I don't think there's going to be any major front-facing changes. I think Brian Cashman's going to be there, and I think Aaron Boone is going to be there. And I thought that Boone had a chance that they would scapegoat him. But, Rich, since that Miami loss, where he's almost been resigned that it was over, I've never seen him so tranquil. And this is a guy who has a fire burning in his belly, and he has been very tranquil. And I asked him that question yesterday, and I said, when you were driving to Yankee Stadium today, did you ever give it any thought that this could be the last time you drive there as manager of the Yankees? And he said, no, never. Now, unless you're completely, in la la land, how could you not give thought that this could be the end of your job when the team's not going to make the playoffs and might finish last or might finish under 500? So the fact that he never gave it a thought, that tells me he's been told he's coming back. I think if there's changes, it might be to the medical group. It might be to the science group. They might rejigger the analytics, stuff like that, maybe player development. But in terms of the front-facing people, Cashman and Boone, I think they're coming back. That doesn't mean that they're going to run it back with the players, but I think those guys are going to be the guys that will be handling it in 2024.
So I guess that's just to circle back, the bullet points of what Judge might be talking about. Is it in the locker room the way whatever Cashman and his analytics group is giving to Boone is giving to the guys? Any scuttlebutt that you can pass along from what you hear following the team all year long, what Judge might be referring to?
No, I really don't. He really plays it close to the vest. He's always accepted. He's a lot like Jeter that way, but he really doesn't tell you what's in his soul. And he's not one of those guys, Rich, that, off the record, this is what's happening. He doesn't play that game. Anything he says is pretty much on the record. So I'm not sure what it is, but I'm sure that the way the analytics are handed down and the things that they stress, I think that has something to do with it, because when they got rid of Dylan Lawson, the hitting coach, and they brought in an old school guy like Sean Casey, and then they bring in Andy Pettit as a consultant, that tells me they're trying to dial it back just a little and maybe look into the stomach of a player rather than just, well, this is what he does 40% of the time. That's the thing that I have always felt was the flaw in analytics, Rich. You can't the thing that frustrates the analytic guys is that you cannot, under any circumstance, quantify guts and clutch. They don't believe in clutch because they can't put a number on it. I believe in clutch. Players that I work with, like Paul O'Neill and A-Rod on K-Rod, they believe in clutch. They believe in hot. They believe in cold. But analytics guys don't.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.